heavily pregnant. My son was due at like within like 2 weeks, and then I found out that he was having like a full-on affair with like this lady for a couple months. As soon as now I started to take my energy away, that's when he kind of like would realize, and then now wants to change and now wanted to make all the difference. And I'm like, I'm not even interested anymore. How do you actually go about like working on your nervous system?
I want you to have a lot of grace for yourself in this process.
Thank you.
Have a lot of grace. Like this stuff is new. One of the greatest signs that you are in a position of being weakened due to connections with people is when you don't have the privilege of saying no. I should feel a sense of danger if I'm out in the woods and a bear stands up. What the fluff? We have to get out of here. I don't know. Yeah, like our bodies
Well,
need
nowadays,
to go.
women prefer that bear coming.
And I've heard that conversation. I've heard it. Sometimes the nervous system isn't as calm as it can be because we're not on the same page mentally, emotionally, and spiritually with something. Your ability to breathe is what's going to get you from this season to the next.
Me personally, I feel like I've lived so many different lifetimes at once. Like I just turned 32. I was in a relationship for 14 years. Well, it would have been 14 years this March, but all right. I always go into so much detail, so I'm glad that you left me to last.
Hey, go into it. Take your time.
Right.
I know it's all context.
Right, exactly. So I'll just go from way back. Like you were saying about people having access to you, right? I've learned throughout my life how much, especially now, like how much access people, how much, sorry, I'm thinking so much right now because I didn't actually expect you to actually answer the call.
I got you. Come on, man. Let's go. Let's rock. Take your time.
Right. So I'm a person that always likes to help people. I always like to compliment people, even strangers on the street. I talk to people all the time. I'm always uplifting people and stuff like that. Like I give a lot of my energy to people, right? But I feel like in my life it's not been reciprocated so much like it has, but then it gets to a point where people expect so much of me that when I'm going through things in my life and I can't give them what they kind of want and expect from me, it's kind of like that's when people start to like pull away kind of thing. And I'm just I'm in a season in my life now where I live basically, like I said, I'm 32. I was in a relationship for 14 years, so from when I was 18. During that time, like before I met my partner at the time, I moved out when I was like 16. So I've just been, like I lived in a hostel. Obviously, like I said, I lived in London, so it's a whole different kind of life. But I lived in a hostel. I've moved around like quite a lot. I lived with my partner and his family for a couple years. But the relationship was like we kind of trauma bonded quite a lot. Like I met him during the time where I was living in the hostel. In one of the conversations earlier, the ladies were talking about working in a club. I used to work in a club, but that was before I met him. So anyway, we got into a relationship. His mask started to kind of drop a little bit after that. And I just kind of skipped all the red flags because of just like where I was in my life. Like he just, he was a good person. I could see that he had he's got a good heart. He was really supportive and stuff like that. But then when we, like a year later into like the relationship, or like a couple of years later, I started to notice how toxic he actually was. And like it would just, because I was like I would say abandoned, but I was estranged from like my family and stuff like that for a long time through choice, because I just felt like, I'm Colombian, but obviously I was born here in London, but my family came from Colombia. But like Latinos are very much critical, but it's always like they say to you like, oh, but it's coming from a place of love. Like I say it to you because I love you, but it's like, no, you're telling me things as a child that I shouldn't be listening to, I shouldn't hear, kind of thing. Yeah. So it's like that's why, like I said, it got to a point in my life where I moved away at a young age, kind of like cut my family off. But then when I got into a relationship with him, it was very toxic, but I kind of just stayed through it. and then it was like 14 years. But then now we've got 3 children, so it's like um, things kind of like over the past couple years, things were getting like a lot worse, like mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Like I very much believe in God, and I feel like what I know in my heart, my spirit, that God is what has allowed me to be here in this moment, still, like, and trying to raise my children. But it's like I can't kind of like imagine. I can't believe that I'm here at the same time. Like now being a single mom with like my 3 children, they're all really really small. Like I had them fruit like back to back.
Mm.
So it got to a point where while I was pregnant with our son, my last child. Sorry, my brain. I'm trying to not get into the
No,
emotions. I'm trying to
it's
just
okay.
stay like
It's
stay
okay.
focused.
It's okay.
Well, it got to a point where because obviously like we had our first daughter during COVID. But obviously we was in a house together. It was like a very beautiful time with our child firstborn and all of that. And I believe that, and I've heard it before as well. I don't know if you've ever heard of Gabor Mate. I don't know if that's how you say it, but he's like I don't know. He maybe just like I'll Google it or something. Yeah.
Okay. No,
But
I've never heard of that.
All right. He speaks a lot of like a lot of wisdom. Anyway.
Mhm.
Anyway, he says that like two children can be brought up in the same home, like with the same parents, but have like two complete different experiences. And I've seen that firsthand with my children. Like I said, like my first daughter, like we was very much connected. Everything was great. But then when I got pregnant, like less than a year later with my second daughter, I had like really bad like postpartum after that. So then we ended up moving back closer to family, but then it was like me and him kind of like really started to disconnect a lot. And then I got pregnant again. And at that point, because we had already disconnected so much, my postpartum was already like so much worse during this time. So it's hard for me to like now balance and juggle 2 children under the age of like 2, and then the household, and then him, and then his work, and then being a stay-at-home mom and everything else that entails in itself. And then while I got pregnant the third time, I found out that he was. I found it's like God speaks to me in so many different ways. Like obviously all of us, if you listen, right? And I had a moment one time where something like God just said to me like, oh, like just to get into, like I said, I get into a lot of detail, right? He came home one day, got into bed, and I kind of sensed that his energy was off, and I'm just like, oh, that's weird. I've never really felt that before. And then my mind kind of said to me like, oh, how do you know that he was where he said he was? And I was like, oh, never thought that before. Okay, cool. My brain's like, okay, like go and check his phone. So he fell asleep. I checked his phone, and then I obviously found out that he was speaking to someone. So I'm like, what? Like, I'm literally. Anyway, I was like, I had just found out I was pregnant at that point. So it was like 2 weeks into my pregnancy. But anyway, he was just like, oh, it's not what you think, blah 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 blah, all of that kind of stuff. And then he kind of like cut it off, but obviously it's very early into my pregnancy, so I was kind of like, okay, what else can I kind of do? Like we've got our 2 young children already, like whatever. Let's just kind of move on eventually, right? But then a couple months down the line, he still wasn't getting the energy that he wanted from me in terms of like me being, I don't know, anything that I don't know. Well, I do know, but again, like my brain's in so many different places. But anyway, found out a couple months later, like now I'm like heavily pregnant. My son was due at like within like 2 weeks, and then I found out that he was having like a full-on affair with like this lady for a couple months, and I'm just thinking, like now it's another child added to the mix, and now all of this is happening. But again, like I remember I journal a lot, so I remember going through my journals couple weeks ago and then seeing me saying like, oh, it's like I'm gonna forgive him, like Lord, blah blah blah, like just praying and constantly asking God like what to do and stuff. But I thought it's my family, like Robin was saying, it's my family. Like I don't wanna, my children are small at that point. I had 3 children under 5. Like that's a lot of kids, and
That's
they're
a
all under
lot.
5.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
So yeah, things just got worse. and he was very he's like he's always shown me, like I said, red flags from the beginning, loads of like narcissistic tendencies as well. He's been very like supportive. He's 100% like a great dad. Like he shows up for the kids and stuff like that. I won't lie about that. But in terms of like with me, he was very like, I used to say to him like he was very like psychologically like abusive and stuff like that. And he was like really rude, and like he was saying earlier about like tone, I'm a person like I very much like tone, the way that you speak to me, the words that you say, that will stay in me for a long time. Like I said, it goes back to childhood with the family, like, you know, making jokes, and then that just, you know, just staying within. So I've been trying to like grow through so many different things, and like trying to push through for years and years. Like I've been reading like self-help books, the Bible, the law of attraction, as in like The Secret, though loads of like, I've been reading for many years, and now it got to a point where I kept thinking to myself, especially in my relationship getting closer to God, I kept thinking, if I believe in God so much and God's love and how great God is, how can I keep on thinking that this is love at this point? Like the way that I'm being treated, like I said, things were getting kind of like, they were getting really bad. So I thought, I can't stay in this and then my children see this as well and grow up thinking that this is okay when it's not. So now I'm at a point where like, it's been a couple months since we've been split up, but I'm still trying to like now figure out how to like regulate my nervous system and heal my nervous system and be consistent with my own goals. And now like managing the kids by myself at home, like, you know, it's like I'm balancing, trying to juggle so much and still remain like faithful like to God and to myself, because I just felt like it was quite important that I had to choose myself because of my kids. And it wasn't just it was also because of the version of me that I could see myself becoming, that I just couldn't tolerate seeing that version of me anymore, you know, like just filled with so much anger and resentment and you know, like pain. Like even now when I'm speaking and my body's shaking and I'm trying to just like calm my body down, but it's like when I speak about it, because now I don't speak to a lot of people about it, you know, like I was like you've been saying today in a conversation about access and stuff. Now, like I had a surgery on my foot 2 months ago, and it's one of those things where I kept on asking God, like I really just need some time to just be isolated, be by myself, be with you. And obviously I had my surgery, so it's been that now. So the alignment and the timing of my life right now, like everything is working out the way it's supposed to, and I do believe that, but it's still really hard for me to like have like a positive mindset constantly. And you know, like I can see Robin said that they change you, like for real, it really changes you. And sometimes I just think like, how did I get here? How did I allow so much? How did I tolerate so much for so long? Even now, like he still tries to like trigger reactions out of me, and I'm like, oh my, I don't know, like it's just a lot, and it's been a lot for so long that like I said, I'm just trying to choose myself and my kids and who they see me as, you know, because I've got two daughters and a son. So I kept thinking my daughters are going to think that this is love, and then my son's going to think this is how you treat a woman. No, like I'm not dealing with that. And then like I said earlier about noticing the difference between my children and the experience that they've experienced with me and their dad. Like my first daughter, she's very calm, cool, relaxed. My second daughter's more like, she's more I've got more tantrums with her. I don't know if you've ever heard of middle child syndrome, but it is a real thing.
What? I'm a middle child myself. Absolutely. Yeah.
You said this, well, I've heard you say this once in your life.
Yeah. I'm a middle child. Man, the way they treat me, that's crazy. Yeah.
See, and I'm trying to heal that now with my baby girl. Like she's only 4, you know, and I'm like, I'm trying to help her heal with that. But it's like now, because she's seen so many like different versions of me as well, I'm trying to like, you know, build that bridge with them. I don't know, it's weird, but yeah, because my mental health has just been like up and down like for so many years that I'm like, I'm trying to be stable and be good, you know, for them. But Yeah, it is a lot. It is a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's just,
What is
and a lot of
your
women go through this. A lot of people experience these things, and
mhm.
I feel like it's like someone was saying earlier about like not allowing people or things for you to shrink yourself. And
Sure.
I'm definitely been a person that's been like I've shrunk because of people or because of my surroundings as well, and not wanting to like outshine people because they don't believe in themselves. But like I said, I can see the good in everyone, so I'll tolerate a lot of shit. Sorry to say,
No.
um,
Cool.
but because I'm trying to give people that energy, you know. But as soon as they can't get what they want from me, it's like they switch up, and it's just like I prefer just sitting by myself now, just with my kids or like just with God, you know, like just with myself.
Yeah.
Because it's easier, and like sometimes people are like, oh, don't you miss him? And I'm like, I felt more alone when he was here with me,
Mm.
sitting on the sofa while he's just on his phone, and I'm just here always thinking and stuff. I'm just like, I feel better how I am now,
Hmm.
but it is harder to accept that because my kids miss their dad and want to live with their dad,
Yeah.
but it was just too toxic, you know. It was just
Yeah.
too toxic for them.
Yeah. What is your what would you say is so I have a couple things off rip that I would love to say. But before that, what would you say is your biggest question?
Like how do you actually go about um like working on your nervous system, like for real? Because I'm very active. I do a lot of yoga, pilates, blah blah blah, like
Yeah.
walking. But obviously because I had my surgery, I've been at like standstill for the past like 2 months, so that
Yeah.
is another thing that kind of affect my mind too, because I'm
Yeah.
used to going all the time, cleaning
Mm.
this that the other. So it's like now I'm like, yeah, how do I continue to stay so like confident in my choices, um and yeah, like I said, heal the nervous system.
Yeah. That's a really great question. I want to start off by saying these things because it's just resonating really loud right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know to what degree you feel you may need to hear it, but I'm going to say it anyway. You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank
Single
you.
mom of so many kids, man, you're doing an amazing job.
I used to say I wanted 8.
You're doing an amazing job. It is just so much. And sometimes that weight is underappreciated and not acknowledged. And so I just want to like let that breathe for a second. Like you're doing an amazing job. And
Thank you, thank you,
from
thank
what
you.
I'm hearing, I'm proud of you.
Oh,
Like
thanks.
I'm proud of you. Way to make such a phenomenal decision for yourself, for your kids, knowing what was at stake and willing to take that risk. Because that is a lot. That is just a lot
Yeah,
for
and
anybody to
like,
go through, for anybody
and
to
then like I said,
experience.
a lot of it was like the words and the things that he would say would be very like I don't even want to give you well, I'll give you one example,
Sure.
that he would say for years and years and years, like no matter what time he would always say, oh, I should have left you in the hostel that I found you in. And I was just, like there was just so many things that he would say that would stick, and then when I would bring him up about it, he would just kind of forget about it, so there'll be very so many moments where he wouldn't take accountability or see what he does. So it got to a point, just to quickly wrap my part up as well, it got to a point where I just felt like I wasn't heard anymore, like even after trying to like accept the cheating and the this and that, whatever. It got to a point where I couldn't be bothered to explain myself anymore. Like I was already like mentally like shut down. Like I just didn't have the energy for it anymore.
Yeah.
But as soon as, like I said, as soon as now I start to take my energy away, that's when he kind of like would realize, and then now wants to change and now wanted to make all the difference. And I'm like, I'm not even interested anymore. And I know it's hard. It was hard for me to get to that point because, like I said, 14 years is a whole, that's a whole lifetime for someone. Like,
Yeah.
but but yeah, I'm like, no, I can't give that energy. And to be honest, what triggered it as well, because I've been praying about it for years, like, God, like, what do I do? What do I do? But because, like I said, I can see it just getting worse and worse and worse and worse, like more toxic, eventually getting like a little bit physical. And I'm like Robin said earlier, like, how can I accept certain things? There's certain things I'm not going to tolerate them, but I did tolerate them. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I did tolerate them. And then, like I said, there was a point where a couple months ago he was like breaking up with me because he was a thing where, like I said, I love to speak to people, right? Like, I'll be on the street and I'll speak to, I attract a lot of old people all the time as well. Like, I just always be on the road, like on the corner
Yeah.
talking to an old lady and her dog.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But then one time, like I said, because I can see the beauty in everything, and
Mhm.
I can see God in everyone, and
Mhm.
like have like the synchronicity and just, you know, just so many things. That so there was one moment where I had a conversation with a stranger, with a man in the park, but then and it turns out that the man knew my ex-partner's dad. Like, he knew them from when he was a little boy, you know, because it was like well connected in the area and stuff. So it was like there was just, and he was kind of like, oh wow, like, I didn't even expect this. But to me, he's a complete stranger, but he already knew the patterns of, like, you know, like certain things. Anyway, like I said, it got to a point where he just got so annoyed at me for just being so myself. Like I said, like, just being bubbly and speaking to people, and it would kind of just rub him the wrong way sometimes. Um, and then, yeah, one day he was just like, oh, like, I'm done with you. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, you want a church man, you want this, you want that. And I was just like, all right, okay, fine. Are you finished? Like, okay, like, that's it. Let's be done. And then a couple days later, he's trying to take it back. So that's what it was. It was just like a cycle of, I'll say horrible things to you, and then the next day, oh, you're so beautiful, like, I love you so much, blah blah blah, and then it's, you know, and I was just like, this is too much for my brain. Like, my kids, like like I said, I couldn't stand the version of myself that I was becoming. That I just had to just. I'm like, I'd rather just be alone in this, you know. But
Yeah.
but yeah, it's been a lot. It's been hard.
Yeah. It's been a journey. So I think there's a couple things here um, that I think are important when it comes to regulating your nervous system. I want to start off by saying this. I'll shrink it back. Look at that. Back in picture, right? So
Nice.
I know it's a beautiful transition. So I want to first off do this. So because I actually have a 3-week program that's definitely served as a nervous system reset. I want to give that to you. It's free. I want to give that
Oh,
to you.
thank you so
Are
much.
you, would you like that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Amazing.
So
Thank you.
yeah, I'm going to follow up with you. Obviously after all of this goes down, or and everything, and get that to you. It's a part of my wait list, but it's just serving as a nervous system reset to kind of walk through some of the beginning steps to what it looks like to engage in the regulation of your nervous system. Because here's the thing, there's so much talk on it. There's so much like information on it. We read a lot of books. We listen to a lot of people. We tap into a lot of different things. And sometimes in the process of healing, it can become overwhelming. Not because healing in and of itself is overwhelming, but because we just see so much that we feel we need to fix and solve. And we see so many things that we feel like we got to correct and change, and then we'll be okay. And it kind of puts more and more pressure, especially, you know, again, not just with ourselves, but when we're thinking of our kids and everything else. It's just like, I want to be that person that prevents you from experiencing things like this. But if I'm being honest, I don't really even know fully what I'm doing yet. And so I have to figure that out too. And we just have to learn to do this and journey through this imperfectly. That's the really first thing that I want you to know, is that doing this nervous system regulation work, kind of calming it down and engaging in it, it comes with us doing it imperfectly. And so I want you to have a lot of grace for yourself in this process.
Thank you.
Have a lot of grace. Like, this stuff is new. We're not supposed to know it. We're not supposed to know it to a T. And we're not supposed to have it so down packed that, things are supposed to be easy and passing with flying colors at this point. Everything is still relatively new. Everything is still relatively fresh. And we're going to be building on this for time and time to come. It's not to say that we'll always be healing, because we won't. There will be a day when we'll look back on all these things and we're like, yeah, I remember going through that. That was a really, really tough time in my life. And I thank God I'm on the other side. Like, it is what it is. And these practices are something that you're going to be able to share down to your kids, that they're going to be able to develop and grow in. And you're going to start seeing even more and more wins from, because of the nuance and expansion of what the healing looks like. So I want to actually transition that into an analogy. I love my analogies.
Yeah, yeah.
So, when you talk about being someone who is so open and willing, but yet when you say no, now you start seeing people change and switch up and things like that. Um, are you familiar? And I don't know what the culture is like over there. You guys familiar with Teslas? Okay, you guys have Teslas over there. Y'all be rocking them, just
Yeah.
going everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously you got your charging stations and things like that. And if you pay attention the next time you go to a charging station, um, and when it's not overcrowded, I want you to pay attention to the spacing that's typically given between Tesla cars. There's typically a charging station, and then there's like a space and then another charging station. Or if it's back to back to back, the cars will skip one in order to charge their car. And this is really interesting, because what this does is, this is designed for the car to be able to, have as much strong of a connection as possible to be able to charge the battery, to be able to go where you're going. And if there was a car that parked in the middle of it, what it would ultimately do would be weaken the connection. And even though the car is still able to charge and all the cars around it is still able to charge effectively, the weaker the connection, the longer it takes. So somebody probably is parked there. They're like, yo, I got about like 30 minutes. Somebody parked right there. You kind of like, God, dog, man, like, can you go somewhere else? Because now I got to wait, like, I don't know. And I'm not too sure on what the initial time limits are, but you got to wait a little longer for everything to fully charge. And this is kind of like an example of what it looks like to be connected to the, not necessarily the wrong source, but be overcrowded, so much so that it drains you. It actually doesn't help you. You know that you're not in a healthy connection and in a healthy situation where people are more comfortable with you being drained.
And I say that a lot to people as well. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I say that a
Yeah.
lot.
Then you are full. But I want to take this another step forward, because what does this have to do with the analogy? And honestly, it just points to recognizing when your light is dimming, when your connections are weakening, when you feel weakened as it relates to being connected to people, and you realize that there's something being taken from you that shouldn't be, that we have to create separation from in order to restore and in
Yeah,
order to have stronger
100%.
possibilities. One of the greatest signs that you are in a position of being weakened due to connections with people is when you don't have the privilege of saying no. And it's not because you can't say no, it's because in the event of saying no, this person now feels they have the privilege and right to switch up on you, change on you, and to stop giving, stop doing, stop being, all because you said no. Real relationships are not determined by what you say yes to. They're often determined by what someone says no to. Is it impossible if this is something that can happen for us? Is it impossible for us to do more of this, less of this? That's another way of framing it, because I get to pay attention to what you say yes to. And eventually you say yes enough to the is it impossible question, then it is impossible for us to be together. Because I have to know where I can say no and feel free enough to say no to you without feeling endangered that the relationship is in jeopardy or that I don't feel safe enough to stay in this environment with you, and B, without needing to do everything for you or without needing to be everything to you without being that to me. The very Bible that we read gives us a clear instruction.
Yeah.
Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. And what? Do you know it?
Wait, say it again.
Love
Say it
the
again.
Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. And
Oh, um, I know it's in my heart.
I know it is. I know it is. Love your neighbor as yourself.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is what's so beautiful about the golden rule. How can I give to you what I'm not even able to give to myself?
Yeah, 100%.
The golden rule assumes I have gold and I have enough gold to distribute. So how can I then suggest that I can give this to you? I can give all this energy, time, and effort, but like when it come to me, I don't have that same thing. Eventually we run into resentment. Eventually we run into pockets of extreme frustration, sadness, drainage, and all the things because we don't feel we can rest.
Yeah.
And here's where the nervous system comes into play. And I mean, people, if there's coming a day where I'm going to do a live stream on this, but I really don't think I think it'll be helpful. I just don't know how ready people are for it.
I think you should do
Because
it.
I think this challenges how we view God and his relationship to creation and his children. But when it comes to the nervous system, this is where it plays a huge role. Because eventually, when the nervous system only knows how to thrive off of fear, alertness, and drainage, it's not just depleting the body from nutrients needed to actually recover. If we're not careful and it goes extremely long, like to the point where it goes all of our life to our 50s, 60s, and beyond, we actually will deprive ourselves so deeply that our body can't even engage in what's necessary to recover. So we need additional things to be able to get in that. And when it comes to being alerted and staying in this alert, this fight or flight, and this threatened position, our biggest win isn't necessarily us coming to a complete overhaul where we're having to dig up all this past and we're having to dig up all these memories and all these things. That's helpful, plays a good role. But what also plays a healthy role too is recognizing this is how I move, and I'm recognizing I don't want to move that anymore. So I'm making a decision from a place of awareness to move differently. And with that moving differently, it does get difficult because now I have to be conscientiously aware of when my body starts shifting into these places. We don't become aware mentally. That shows up eventually, but we have to first become aware bodily. The bodily signs and signals that I'm tired. The bodily signs and signals that I'm afraid, nervous, excited, joyful, relaxed. I want to be able to get into a place where I'm present enough in my body to discern and see the difference. And from the most practical places of that, it's simply grounding and relaxing our body. Because this is how we have to re-engage with our nervous system. So you've done some research. Are you familiar with the two styles within our nervous system? It's okay if you're not. I'm just curious.
No,
Okay.
no, no.
So there is the sympathetic
Okay,
and the parasympathetic.
okay.
Well, you better teach this thing, Sean. I'm doing the best I can, coach.
I'm writing it down.
Okay. So there's sympathetic and parasympathetic. Sympathetic and parasympathetic. Okay. So the sympathetic nervous system is actually asking a question, can I react? Okay. So the sympathetic system is not necessarily the nervous system where it only equates to danger. Because I think if we paint it that way, then we won't ever feel like we need room to listen to it. Like there's contexts where when danger strikes, it's for a good reason. Like I should feel a sense of danger if I'm out in the woods and a bear stands up. What the fluff? We have to get out of here. I don't know. Yeah, like our bodies
Well,
need to go.
nowadays women prefer that bear coming
And
than
I've
men.
heard that conversation. I've heard it. I have 1000% heard it. That is, oh Lord. Yeah,
I'm
that's
sitting down
another.
with a bear.
Yeah, okay. We'll see how that go. We'll see how that goes. But no, I get it. I've heard it. But it's like, yeah, I should probably run in most case scenarios. Okay. Unless you're in 2022 and beyond, you might think differently. But beforehand, we used to look at that and be like, yeah, no, that's not okay.
Run.
Yeah, we might need to run. Then but there's also, right, moments where our sympathetic is engaged and active, not even because something is there, it's because our body has been trained from patterns, repetition, and intentionality. So we're
Yeah.
anticipating and preparing for this type of thing to happen that sparks and alerts different levels of fear. Okay. So that's how our sympathetic is actually moving. Okay. So this is where our fight or flight reactions live, our freeze reactions live,
Yeah.
right? All of those different communications and conversations where essentially our emotions are so heightened. The amygdala is going, hippocampus is live, all the things at the bottom of our brain, and we just react.
See,
Okay.
I feel like I've been there for so long,
Yeah.
especially like now having the kids. I get so overstimulated because there's freedom and they're loud and
Yep.
they all want to
Yep.
talk to me at the same time.
That. And it happens in the smallest ways. And they're just so innocent because they just want to hug
Yeah.
mom and be around mom. But mom is also like, okay, so, but I remember when I was growing up, and if it wasn't just connected to growing up, just how I used to go about navigating loud noises and overstimulation, it was easier for me to pull away, shut down,
Yeah.
or,
Same.
just it was
Same.
coping. It was survival, right? So when
That's
we
what I'm
live,
saying. Yeah.
yeah, when we live at survival for so long, that becomes not just our reality, but it also becomes jointed with our beliefs. Not necessarily because that's what's to believe, but because that's all we've known.
Yeah.
And so when it's all we've known and we're trying to introduce something different, it just takes time. This is why it's important to give ourselves time and grace, because we're not going to get this overnight. But we just have to start by becoming aware of when those nervous systems are activated. And you might not walk around being like, "Oh, that's my sympathetic," but you'll
I
be
will now.
but you'll be aware of like, okay, wait, this is me feeling reactive. Because remember the question, can I react? Okay. Now let's go to the parasympathetic. The parasympathetic is asking a different question. Can I restore? Okay.
Okay.
And so when we're talking about this restorative, we're talking about engaging in this form of regulation and relaxation. So this is where we're actually trying to experience a sense of safety, calmness, regulation, okay, in our bodies, not just mentally. And that is engaged and introduced through various styles of things like breathing, okay, movement, all right. And I would also go as far as to say things like stillness, okay,
Yeah.
or you might hear like
100%.
meditation and things like that.
No,
It
yeah, it's
plays hand
true.
in hand, okay.
It does. It does. It does.
Yeah. And so, but the biggest thing too to enact it is your breathing. And I'm going to bring some scripture into this that's going to tie all this in,
Yes,
okay,
please.
because this is going to be huge. But we got to be able to breathe intentionally. So when we engage in our parasympathetic, the biggest, your most important style of breathing is going to be in through the nose and out through the mouth. Okay, in through the nose slowly for 6 seconds or for 4 seconds, out through the mouth slowly, even slower for 6 seconds. Okay, no holds or pauses. We're just engaging in this intentional breath work to regulate our body, to get into this state of rest, because we're alerted, anticipating, we're watching, right, and we're awake always.
Yeah.
Right? Looking over our shoulders, what's going to happen? Stop this, stop that. We're trying to integrate this opportunity for us to be able to rest. So when we so with the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous systems, okay, and they're both asking these two questions, we have the ability to respond to these questions, not necessarily through judgment and not necessarily through expectation. I should do this and I shouldn't do this. It's just
Mm-hmm.
more of how aware can I be in seeing this happening in me. The more aware we become, the more opportunity we're able to make adjustments,
Mm-hmm.
and the more opportunity we're able to choose what we want to do. Because here's what's beautiful is you're initially, especially when it comes to your brain moves so fast due to those patterns, the emotional bonds that have
Mm-hmm.
been created. Like you might not recognize that you're spiraling until you're in the middle or close to the end of the spiral.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I noticed. I noticed that as
Yeah.
well.
And when you do that, do you just simply give up and go all the way through? Or
I
do
mean, I
you,
used to. Now I've learned to breathe through it, and
yeah, yeah,
I can tell now. Like that's why I love what you're saying, because I can tell now when I'm at that reactive point,
yeah,
and now I can kind of like just stop it and not
yes,
go there and not give into it and
yes,
feed it any more energy.
yep.
Whereas I
And
can see over the years, I can just like it's like I
mhm,
can see myself outside myself. I can see
yeah,
myself doing it for so long. I'm like, damn, like
yeah. And
that
so
for a long
we
time.
come into that awareness and then we just start,
Mm,
okay, I'm gonna choose something different here. Let me
mm-hmm,
relax, get back into the body, all the things. And now it's
mm-hmm,
just about honestly turning it into a little game.
mm.
People feel like it's weird, but we're just gamifying it. Like,
Yeah.
okay, it took me 2 hours yesterday. I bet it gonna take me an hour 50 today, right? And we're looking for it. We're because and it's not to say that we're intentionally putting ourselves in positions to be alerted, but we know because this is how we typically operate. This is what our nervous system is bound to do at some point. So it's just
Mm-hmm,
okay. We've been waiting on this. Now I get to put this into some action. Oh, let's cook. Okay, hour and 50. Put it on the clock. Dang, it took an hour 57. Okay, bet still better than 2 hours. I bet it won't be an hour 57 that tomorrow. I bet it won't. And we coming back to it, right? But you see how like when you turn it into a game in that way, obviously it's not that we're minimizing the seriousness, but
mm-hmm,
like that laughter is pointing to some level of abundance in you that
mm-hmm,
is
mm-hmm,
dying to come out of you and rest.
mm-hmm,
Let's
100%.
stay there. Why why
Mm-hmm,
why take this as like a I have to cry and be sad about it all day? If I don't have to. It's okay if it
yeah.
comes up. But if I don't have
Mm-hmm,
to, nah, I want to laugh. I want to have fun. I want to be able to enjoy this. So let's do it.
mm-hmm,
Right. And so we're coming into those regulations, right? So that breathing style is really huge.
mm,
Okay. And so is just the awareness that we're gaining regarding the signals of the body. And of course, consequently, what will happen in the mind. And just because and sometimes our mind and bodies aren't on the same page. I'm thinking one thing, I'm
mm-hmm,
feeling something different,
mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm,
I'm thinking one thing, but my body's behind or I'm feeling ahead. I want you to think of it like I'm going to get to this analogy in a second. Well, I just used that one. I just already used the analogy, but I'll use another one. When you watch a train turn a track and you see the locomotive first before you see the rest of the cars align on the track,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
that's a picture of our heads before our bodies,
Makes
right?
sense.
So sometimes our head is there and we logically see, oh, this makes sense. I know what
Mm-hmm,
this is. I know where it comes from. And it just takes a minute for our body to catch up. It
mm-hmm,
doesn't mean that we're doing wrong. It's just taking time. So let's just
mm-hmm,
be present enough and ground ourselves in that space to be able to do it. And it starts with our breathing, stillness, and all the things. Is this making sense so far and
mm-hmm.
regulating the nervous system?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
100%.
I also want to say this that with all this nervous system talk, to continue simplifying it, regulating it also comes through measurements of alignment.
Mm,
Sometimes the nervous system isn't as calm as it can be because we're not on the same page mentally, emotionally, and spiritually with something. And that
mm,
doesn't necessarily mean that because we're experiencing dysregulation, that means I must not be believing what I say I believe, thinking what I'm thinking. Like I can see where our minds may go there. It's just
mm,
more so in moments where we find ourselves in dysregulated situations.
mm,
It's worth being curious. And this is how we're able to differentiate. Am I kind of creating this dysregulation,
mm, mm,
or is what's in front of me creating this
mm,
dysregulation?
mm.
If it's me, I may not be in alignment with my thoughts, words, and actions.
Mm-hmm.
What I say I value and what I say I care for, I may not actually be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And what we're calling the devil is really my anxiety kicking up.
Mm-hmm.
But my anxiety is kicking up because I got additional stress. But I got additional stress because I'm not doing and living how I say I want to do and live.
And then that's where like shame starts to come
And
in
that's
as
where
well.
shame comes in. And
Mm-hmm.
shame
Mm-hmm.
and guilt and all those things are, again, reflections of
Mm-hmm.
survival paradigms. And
Yeah.
realize how a
Mm-hmm.
lot of that is stuff that we create.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
we're the ones that, like, oh my goodness, because of all the expectations. This
Mm-hmm.
acronym for shame, self-hatred at my expense.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Cheat.
So let's get to the cycle of it, right? So an experience happens that maybe cultivates and brings up this shameful feeling. Then what do we do? And
Mm-hmm.
out of heroic tendencies, we might take an action and we'll say, well, I'm going to put a unrealistic standard that I want to say that I can reach, and emotionally I'll say I can reach, but I can't really reach. But I'll
Mm-hmm.
set that standard high, and then we fail that standard. We
Mm-hmm.
mess up and we fail that again, and so now here comes the shame
Yeah.
again.
See,
And
that's what I find annoying. Like I'll spend times at night. Like I said, I stay up late. I'll
mhm,
be thinking about all this stuff, and then the next day I'll be motivated to actually put it into
yep.
practice.
Yep.
And then it
And
just
then another day it's like and yeah, and it's like another day I'm not feeling it. And then it's like, I suck, I'm a failure. So we pay attention to
mm-hmm.
some of those things because that programming is live, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the mind chatter doesn't mean we have to obey it and we have to give room to it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The
That's what I've
mind
realized over the
the
years.
mind is just doing what the mind does.
Yeah.
And our
Mm-hmm.
job is to just be aware of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Use another
Mm-hmm.
example. Just like you walk across the street and you see them cars passing down the road and they just keep going. And
Mm-hmm.
you might see one that stick out to you and be like, and it'll go down the road and you'll stick following it, but then it'll get lost in some other traffic down the road up there, right? This is a picture of our thoughts because you realize you don't start running with the car, you don't become the car, you don't jump in the car, you don't do any of that. You just see it and then you refocus your attention back to where you are. It's the
Yeah.
same thing with our thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to control what comes in and out of my mind
Mm-hmm.
because I know naturally what will come in and out of my mind will reflect the things that I see, think of, and look at most,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? And so I can just simply be aware of that and not feel controlled by that.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of over identifying that to me, wow, I'm the worst. God just thinks the worst of me, or anything that we might identify with that. It's just like, no,
Mm-hmm.
my mind is just doing what the mind does. Let me just be
Yeah.
aware of it and let it pass.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that is giving us autonomy back because we're like, I'm not my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not my thoughts and I don't have to respond to my thoughts. And this gives us a really good sense of control. You're going to see this in the Oasis program, is what I call it. Okay.
Okay.
It's really fitting, but it's something that I think is really going to give a level of relaxation. Let me say this last
Mm-hmm.
thing on nervous system. Okay. So we talked about alignment and we talked about um, breathing. Okay. Um,
Mm-hmm.
in order to really engage and continue building in this engagement of our nervous system consistently,
Mm-hmm.
I want to take you to the scripture to
Oh
close it
yeah.
out. This
Mm-hmm.
is going to breathe life. Have you ever heard of Isaiah? See, I always get this wrong. Hold up. Uh huh. Uh huh. You know, it's always a nice hearing when you hear them pages flipping. They said that boy digging. Okay. So Isaiah 40. You familiar with that
What's
text?
that? Mm-hmm.
They that wait on the Lord
Yeah.
shall renew their strength. They shall mount up on wings like eagles. They shall run and not get weary. They shall walk and not faint.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Nice
I
and
had a
beautiful.
dope revelation on this that I
I'm
thought I
listening.
was
I'm
like,
always.
yeah, I was like, ooh, like, oh, snap. So,
Mm-hmm.
what's so interesting is these three things, right? Without going too deep into my studies, I got notes on this all over my page. All right. Um, just dealing with this specific verse. Okay. No, let me give the brief context. In the whole context, Israel is transitioning from, judgment to refreshment. Like, God is gonna take care of them. God's gonna restore them. all the things. And so he leads with this statement of comfort, comfort my people. He ends this statement with recognizing that they need to walk with him in efforts of not just staying comforted, but ultimately experiencing the restoration thereafter. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. So this particular statement here, notice these transitions. So they who wait on the Lord, okay, or those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. Okay. So they'll soar on high wings like eagles. Okay. So we went from soaring to running. They shall run and not get weary. We went from soaring and running to walking. They shall walk and not faint. 3 unique transitions. Now let's explain those transitions. When you're talking about soaring, and he compares it like to an eagle. When you think of an eagle, I learned this. I had to look it up on ChatGPT. I said, yo, fam, talk to me. How in the world does an eagle breathe when it flies? Right? It was so unique to me because what it later broke down, and of course having some resources to back this up, is that an eagle exercises a lot more energy when their wings are flapping. They're exerting a lot of air and oxygen when it's flapping versus when they're just gliding and soaring, wings out wide,
just flowing with the wind.
flowing with the wind. And we look up and we're like, yo, that looks so easy. that looks effortless. What's happening though in their lungs is that their air sacs have expanded so much that it's able to hold the tension of their breath. So instead of panting like we may think of if they're flapping, they're able to hold and withstand that breath while gliding. Still breathing, but just holding that tension at its highest level. This is a reflection of things happening in our life that seems effortless and is actually flowing like butter. Money's good, fam good, health good, kids good, hair done, nails done, everything did. Oh, you fancy, huh? Right? Like we just, we loving life. Everything is dope. So then we go from that season to a season of running. We went from gliding and flying, everything's high on 10, to now I'm running. Now, this isn't necessarily us hitting that soaring still. It's just us at a comfortable jog and a comfortable pace. We're not too slow, not too fast. Steady. I'm on my feet, on my legs, just going, right? I'm chilling. Panting, breathing is different. Nonetheless, I'm good. Then we hit this walk and not faint. And this walk isn't just a calm, brisk walk in the nice middle summer of the day. Everything is good. This is like a walk where I went from everything was good to I'm sustainable to I'm crawling to get to the next day. Today was really tough. Today was really hard. And I just need to go to bed so I can have a refresh in the morning type of deal. Okay. We went from soaring to running to walking. That started out with trusting God. What this communicates to me is that within every unique transition, we sustain those transitions by breathing.
I love that.
Because realize how the breath changed with each status. The eagle held and expanded its breath, but it was maximized. Full deep breath within the lung and air sacs. Running, you were panting, but it was comfortable and manageable. Walking, it was slow and it was dire. Whether we're running, walking, or soaring, our job isn't to control the external. Our job is to simply breathe. This is what I think it could mean. One of many possible meanings behind what it looks like to actually wait, not just on God, but waiting and experiencing the healing we're after.
100%.
It's not just, it's the unknown. It's the unknown. So to navigate that, I have to learn how to breathe, because when transitions happen and they're subtle, we don't say it, but we do it. We hold our breath. It's like it knocks a pause in you, knocks the wind out of you. It's a transition that
All right, don't hurt
and it's
yourself.
like, and it's going crazy, right? You ever? I know I've been living in this household. God knows I love him. I got a whooping so bad. I was like, and you
You
get
can't do
to,
that no more.
and
You get in trouble.
you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, it's one of those, right? But when you get that pause knock in you, the one thing that you got to breathe,
Yeah, that's true.
because like it's your body clearly it's not ready for
Yeah, brace
whatever
for
just happened,
impact.
right? Whatever just happened, your body's not ready for it. And so the same thing mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually in seasons. And instead of trying to constantly control the external, we live by our internal world leading the way. And it starts with our ability to intentionally breathe.
Can I say something before you move on? Like why
Yeah.
it's so, like I said about the synchronicities and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The first tattoo that I got, actually the first one my mum's name, but the second one I got, it says got broken wings, but I learned to fly. So I think it's funny that you know, that you've got that scripture just
Come
now,
on.
and that you're talking about the eagle flying.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
got that when I was living in the hostel and just thinking like, oh, I know everything's gonna be okay, like everything's gonna be okay one day. And now it's been like a whole 20 years, and I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's still gonna be all right. It's still
Yeah,
gonna be
it's gonna be
okay.
okay. And I want you to recognize too that even in the event of all this, you notice how with this breathing, we're staying in the same passage as an example. With this breathing that shifts within transitions, the peace that is wanted is created. The peace that's wanted is not based off of a status change location, waiting for this big whoop experience for us to feel like it's actually experienced in the moment right there by our willingness to slow down, breathe, and the transition.
All right, so what would you say to this then? Because I believe in, obviously, like I pray a lot, like I said, I journal,
Yeah.
I like to meditate, all that kind of stuff. But there's certain habits that I've had for a long time. It's one of those things where I'm trying to be like obedient in my calling, and it's something that I feel like God has been calling me to stop doing for such a long time. But I don't know, sometimes it's hard to even let that go and fully, like I've been trying to fully surrender to God and be obedient and, like I said, step into my calling and do what I'm supposed to do. But there's still certain patterns that I see and that I notice that I'm still trying to let go of. And like I said earlier as well, like about the self-limiting beliefs as well, and trying to let go of all this stuff so that I can actually, you know, go where God is calling me to go and do what I
Yeah.
need to do.
I know that there are certain convictions that we have that we're learning to just honor and honor better with. But is there anywhere in the scriptures that you ever read where somebody was not able to be used by God because of things that they were still trying to process or let go of? Yeah.
No.
David, you could say, had a lust problem, was still considered someone after God's own heart.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I've been thinking about this a lot
Yeah.
recently. So,
Yeah. And it's like, I know that, like, oh, but those people are so long ago, and, it's a different world, it's a different time, all these
no,
things.
it's really not. Like it's
I
really,
love it.
really not.
I love it. Yeah. And I want you to think about it like God is not up here. And this is why I'm completely not for, I'd say for right now, I'm just not for like the idea of God holding things back from us, or, God pausing things in our lives because of things that we're still stuck with. Like, no, like God is with us. God still desires to work those things out and work those things through us. And I think we are the ones that are ultimately in the way of sometimes just
Yeah.
simply allowing that to be. And that's because we've believed for the longest time in some way, shape, or form, whether it was through one of these three forms of programming. Write this down. You might want to take this with you. Okay. There's authoritative.
Okay.
Those are from parents, coaches, pastors, teachers, people that we looked up in our lives at one point and said, I'm not going to question you. I just believe you because this is who you are to me. Right. Then there's big or traumatic,
Mhm.
right? So those are the traumatic events that we've experienced,
Mhm.
right? That have a way of juggling our nervous system and brains.
Mhm.
Okay. So, like, for example, this is a very small and lighthearted one, but if you were standing in front of a class and somebody pantsed you, everybody in the classroom, aha, right? And
Yeah.
now our brain took a screenshot, and then now we're going to
Mhm.
go the rest of our school year wearing double shorts, and ain't nobody ever going to catch us like that again, right? We responded to that in a different way.
Yeah.
And then there's the constant. Those are the programmings that from the messaging that we just heard
Mhm.
repetitively, right?
Mhm.
Doesn't
Mhm.
matter if it's right or wrong. It's just something we heard repetitively. Hey man, where you get
Mhm.
that from? Shoot, I don't know. I just always believed it. Nah,
Mhm.
it was repetitive. It was repetitive, right?
Mhm.
And so with
Mhm.
those forms of programming that's really, really present, I think it's worth considering um like when what programming is present that reminds us that we feel like we can't still step into what God wants us to do because of certain
Mhm.
things that we feel like we haven't overcame,
Mhm.
right? And I think there's a beauty in us going flawed and imperfect because it will constantly be a reminder that it couldn't have been all of us because we ain't perfect. It's
Mhm.
God who's
Mhm.
also playing a role in that. But it's also too
Mhm.
like we were never called to have it all together to do it. You've heard that before. But I
Yeah.
look at it in this direction. All you need to be is one step ahead of somebody to be able to look back and give to them.
Yeah.
It just takes one step.
Mhm.
We're not asking you to be the greatest saint to ever live.
Mhm.
We just want you to be a step ahead. And when you're a step ahead, you look back and you see so many people behind you who can benefit from having what you now have.
Mhm.
Because process is something God is doing in all of us, regardless of the season.
Mhm.
And
No, yeah, it's true.
what He's doing in you is phenomenal and isn't discredited because of the things that you find yourself still slowly walking away from.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna be honest, some of the things that the church loves to blow up and make a big deal of, God ain't tripping on. And that's not to
Mhm.
say that God doesn't maybe want to see differences, but I think sometimes we make a big deal as if it's like, oh yeah, man, God is trying to get that out of you and he needs you to give that up now or you can't like, nah. I don't think God
Mhm.
moves that way. I think there's a lot of religion and fear that moves that way.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I was just gonna say. A lot of it
Yeah.
is fear and just
Yeah.
that fear mongering people as well.
There you go. And so we're just being
Mhm.
mindful of it,
Yeah.
being mindful of it. That's the goal. Being mindful of it.
You know what? You said that earlier. Sorry to cut you. You said that earlier about being mindful about what you consume, what you listen to, and I'm very much like that as well. Like even
Sure.
with music, I'm very mindful of what I listen to as well.
Sure.
Like so.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I got me a little old school playlist.
Nice.
I
Yeah, I
do.
still listen. And now I listen to like normal music sometimes.
Yeah.
But
I got old school playlists on me. Drake's album just dropped. I listened to
I
it.
haven't heard it yet. I haven't heard
Yeah.
it yet.
I listened to it. But again, I know everybody's in different places. And so
Hmm.
it's not a
Hmm.
conversation of maturity at all. It's
Yeah,
more of a
yeah.
conversation of, hey, if you feel like this is something that you feel like is you're being called to let go of and challenge and lay it down,
Hmm.
I'm not here to trip you up.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Hmm.
do that.
Hmm.
And be mindful of those things. And I think that's something that we
Hmm.
all need to do in various areas and lanes of our life.
Hmm.
The biggest thing that I want you to check out from this conversation is realizing that your ability to breathe is what's going to get you from this season to the next.
Hmm.
It's what's going to get you from where you are to where you want to be. And we're
Yeah,
not,
you're right. And I
we're,
was reminded by that today. So thank
yeah,
you for that.
yeah, it's going to be the key difference between where you are and where you're trying to be. And as we're developing these muscles and just being intentional with it, our nervous system is going to engage in neuroplasticity.
Hmm.
Our
Hmm.
nervous system is going to rewire. Our nervous system is going to recover and heal over time. But it's not about us trying to get it all in one conversation, in one
Hmm.
moment,
Hmm.
in one thing. It's just compounding.
Hmm.
I want you to see yourself as a gardener. I want you to see your body, your nervous system, everything as a garden,
Hmm.
right? And every good gardener knows that when he plants a seed, I got to cultivate that seed, cultivate that soil, and I have to be willing to be patient enough to see this through.
Yeah.
I have to attend to this and nurture it and do it in a very calm, loving way that brings about the fruit I want to see,
Mhm.
right? And when that seed is in there, and that gardener waters that seed, he's not expecting that seed to sprout into the fullest tree tomorrow.
Mhm. Mhm.
Matter of fact, he waters it that day, and he gonna come out tomorrow, and he gonna still see that dirt that he watered the other day.
You know, it's one that's there's a quote, I don't know exactly how it goes, but it's about like, you know, people that plant, for example, like a tree or something, they're
Mm-hmm.
not the ones that are going to be the one to sit under the shadows of that tree, you know, they're
Sure.
planted for future generations. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What you're growing now is people behind you or later than you are going to benefit from, right? Your kids
Mm-hmm.
are going to be beneficiaries of this. Their
Yeah, yeah.
their kids are going to be beneficiaries of this
Mm-hmm.
because Andy said it ends with me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that is worth celebrating. And so we look at that, and he sees that dirt, he's watering it. And eventually he's going to see that seed poke through that dirt. But there's a compound effect happening here that the gardener is just as grateful for. That the seed didn't sprout day one, but that didn't mean the watering was less effective day one to day 20 to day 40. It all had a compound effect that gave life to the seed that first grew down before it grew up. It grew
Mm-hmm.
down to create the roots so that
That's
whatever
so
came
cool.
above the whatever came above the ground, it had the ability to hold.
You know what's funny as well? My tattoo is actually a tree as
Come
well.
on,
And I've
man.
got books down here. One of them's the Bible.
Come
That's
on,
so funny.
man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
It's
Come on.
crazy.
Come on. This sound like this wasn't on accident. That's what it sounded like
I'm
to me.
telling you, I don't believe in accidents. And you said earlier as well about time. Like, time doesn't exist. It's all just an illusion. It's all just
It's come on, man. Like it's not. Come on.
the alignment is crazy.
Come
So I
on.
really appreciate this call, honestly.
Yes, yes. We told you we saved the best for last. So here's the last thing I want to give you as a thought. And this is something that you'll work on too. Um, I want you to be okay with resting and give yourself permission to rest. Sleep matters when it
It's
comes to
literally 2 in the morning.
Yeah, that's why I'm about to wrap this up. That's why I'm about to wrap this up. It's important to value rest. Your nervous system can only function as much as your rest allows your nervous system to. So we can't do all these things and then feel like, okay, I can still get away with 4 or 5 hours sleep.
Yeah, I need to
Like,
cut that mentality out.
yeah, yeah. So like we need to invest in, 7 hours of sleep. Not everybody needs 8, but we got a little bit of catching up to do, and that's okay too. And sometimes those moments where you feel like resting goes against something for you, be curious about that because that's more of mind chatter, right? Because rest is something that we need, and there's nothing like our bodies are so designed to rest that you don't have to do nothing and still be like, yeah, I need to go to bed
Yeah,
because your
that's
body
true.
needs to catch up. Your body, your boy. Now I'm telling you this, and I'm actively working on it because like I'm in sleep debt, like
Yeah.
1,000%. Like I'm a night owl at heart. I've had
Robin's
so
not.
many. Oh,
She
15
said that she
hours?
needs
Boy,
to.
girl, God bless you. God bless you. That's probably how many. That's probably how much I need just to get to an even baseline.
me too.
Boy, what? Yeah, like I'm behind. It's bad. But this is something that, again, it's just being aware of it. Being aware of those moments and getting to a place of being able to relax your body, breathing, sleep, and really getting into places of stillness and relaxation. Those are really beginning practices to ground and to get a hold of the nervous system. And you'll notice a lot of thoughts, you'll notice a lot of emotions, you'll notice a lot of stories, things that come up. And it's not always the devil. It's just actually this is programming from what I'm used to.
Yeah, yeah,
And I actually have the ability to change this. And
yeah,
that's where the power comes in with time.
100%.
Okay. And so what I'm going to do is send you this document. Okay. Right after it,
Amazing.
because I
Thank you,
want you to
thank you.
have that. I want you, well, I don't even think it's a document. I did say it was a document earlier. What I want you to do is I want you, no, I'll just send you the link. I'll just send you the link because there you'll be able to sign in, and then I'll on the back end be able to upgrade your account to the area. And then I want you, and then that'll be the place that you'll be able to grow. You got community in there. People are doing it as well. So you're not alone. And we can talk about what those next steps continue to look like, just getting you involved in that. And then, of course, like having access to me to be able to walk through it too.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. Okay.
Sounds great. Sounds great.
How was this? Was this helpful? Was it what you
Yeah,
needed? Did
super
you get more
helpful.
than what you wanted? What's up?
Yeah, 100%. I'm really glad, and best till last, honestly. That I'm glad that we had this conversation. I'm glad that like I don't know what the guy that you was talking to earlier was saying, but I love what you do, like to help people out and stuff like that. And I feel like you give like so much good advice as well, and that your heart's in the right place. So I appreciate the energy and the time, the space as well that you've given me and everyone else as well. So appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate you. Appreciate all the love and the kind words. It's more to come from this. Listen, I could talk all day. I've been on stream for like 6 hours. I gotta go. Okay. But
That's crazy.
this is all gonna be reposted on my YouTube.
Oh,
So
amazing,
I got
amazing.
other replays up there as well. Everything's the same. Coach Sean Walker, if you want to go catch some other replays and things
Yeah,
like that,
definitely. I'll
conversations.
check it. I'll check it out.
Absolutely. But this will be up there as well. I'll probably do this one more immediate because this was really, really good. And we'll go
Oh,
from there.
all my
So
business
expect.
is out. It's gonna be out there on YouTube.
Listen, it's all safe places. Listen, if you don't want to
Can I
be
say
featured,
one thing quickly?
yeah, go for it.
A big part of me coming on the live and also like putting the camera on as well is because, like I said, I've always felt like my calling has been like my voice has always been a big part of my calling as well. And I've always just like believed that I can help a lot of people with my voice and like my testimony and stuff like that. But again, it's the programming, the conditioning, and also just remembering like people saying like, because I've always wanted to do like YouTube and stuff like that, but people are like, "Oh, what are you gonna talk about? You've got nothing to speak about," and I'm like, I could talk for days. Like I could talk for days about things that I know people can get some sort of wisdom from, especially now like being a mum. But
Hmm.
that's why I really wanted to come on here as well. So because I'm trying to push myself more and more out of my comfort zone as well, so that I can be the person that I've always dreamed of becoming, And so this is a big part of that. So again, I really appreciate it for real.
Let's go. Hey, this all right. So it's a double whammy because when we deal with the nervous system, we deal with everything low key. This is going to be something. This oasis and so much other stuff. It's going to unlock that. It's going to unlock that for you simultaneously. But I encourage you, stick around. All right. I've been in this space for 6 years. Um,
Amazing.
and I've had my own growing pains. I would love to, just help you out any way possible.
Thank
You know what I'm
you.
saying? As you're
Thank you.
navigating
Thank you.
that. Yeah, as you have questions, thoughts, all the things. Let's chat it up. All right.
Definitely.
And I'll definitely be a helping hand where I can.
No, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. You got a big bro over here. I got your back.
I appreciate
You know what I'm
it.
saying? I got your back. All right. Well, listen, you get you some
Oh, well,
rest.
thank you so
Think
much.
on those notes, and I'm gonna
I
get this to
will.
you so you're able to start getting going as soon as tomorrow. You're not starting tonight. I mean, you'll have access tonight, but don't start tonight. You'll start tomorrow. Okay.
I'll start tomorrow.
Yeah. And I got you covered there. Okay.
No, thank you so much, Sean. I
Hey,
appreciate you. God bless. Take care. And
hey, I
I'll definitely
appreciate
be
you.
in contact.
Let's go. I appreciate you. All right. Take
Thank
it
you.
easy.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too.
Bye.
Hey man, shout out to Andy. Y'all put a one in the chat. My phone about to die. It's 8 o'clock, and y'all sitting with me. Y'all go eat. Y'all go enjoy y'all eating, and I'm about to do the same.